In this video we're going to look at project management definitions. What is a project and what is project management? So let's start with what is a project. The definition from PMBOK, which is the project management body of knowledge, which is a good resource for project management, calls it a temporary endeavour undertaken to create a unique product or service. So let's look at some of those words. Temporary, definite beginning, definite end. Right from the start, you intended to start at this date, you intend to finish at that date, as compared to say a business which would has a definite beginning. The business starts and there's no definite end. It'll keep on going as long as it's making profit. But with a project, say like building a building, you'll arrive on site, there won't be a building there. That would be the beginning of the project. You will build the bridge or the building, and at the end it'll be complete. Then you'll leave, you go on to another project. So definite beginning, definite end. Another word there is unique. It means it's not been done before. So if you're in a business, there'll be a whole lot of routine stuff. If you're running, say, a factory producing pipes, each pipe will be the same. So you're producing pipe after pipe after pipe, all the same. They're not unique. But a civil engineering project, they are usually unique. Even if you've got a whole lot of houses all side by side, all of the same design, they're still unique. They are on different soil. They are being produced at different times. So whereas one house, it may have rained all the time that you constructed it, another house it might have been fine. One soil may be on nice clay soil, another one may be on muddy rubbish. So they are unique. The problems will be similar with all those houses of the same design, but there will be unique problems that will arise. So they are unique. And a product or a service, it produces a product or a service. Most civil engineering projects are a product. So we produce a product is a physical object. So bridges, roads, buildings, pipe systems, they are all physical objects, therefore they are products. There's another type of output for a project, and that is a service. So for example, a computer company may have a project to develop a new software product that can be used, say Windows 10 or something like that. That is providing a service. There's nothing physical, but it allows their clients to do something different, capability to do something different. So that's the difference between a product and a service. As I said, most engineering projects are products. Now there's a word for these things, deliverables. So they are deliverables, things that we give to the client. So a deliverable is an output that is delivered to the client. So what is project management? Project management, there's different definitions. Once again, PMBOK gives us good guidance. Application of knowledge, skills, tools and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirements. So there are things that if you're building a building, you need to build the building, you need to do it on time, you need to do it within budget, you need to be managing resources properly, you need to be communicating to people, you need to be doing all sorts of things. So that's what they mean by knowledge, skills, tools and techniques to achieving those project objectives. Wikipedia gives us another good one. Planning, organizing, securing, managing, leading, controlling resources to achieve the specific goals. So once again, same thing. We're trying to achieve the specific goals, and we are managing our resources wisely to be able to do that. So you can see that both of those definitions mean we're talking about the objectives. What do we want to achieve with this project? We want to do it as the client requires it to be. We want it to be done on time. We want it to be done to budget. We want to minimize environmental damage and so on, and making it happen. So these things do not happen just by accident, they need to be managed. So that's the management part, and that involves a whole lot of processes that we'll talk about in the next video. So if you want a simple definition, making the project happen to achieve the project objectives. So there's some more definitions there, and this is shown here. So you start off with a whole lot of inputs. So for a design project, it may be the client requirements, it may be geotechnical investigations, it may be survey data, all that information there. And then it goes into a process. So that might be a design process where there are a whole lot of activities that happen. So one activity would be a person taking the geotechnical information and putting it onto a plan. Another one might be the person taking the survey data and turning it into a model that can be used in CAD. Another activity may be someone taking that CAD model and designing the new structure on top of it. So there's a whole lot of activities, and at the end of it, out comes an output, something that is produced by that. So in the preliminary design process, there will be an output which will be a preliminary design report showing you a preliminary design. It could also be this process may be constructing, or the project may be for constructing a road. So this process may be constructing the curbs. So the input will be the labour, the materials, the machinery that's required to do it. Processes may be, activities may be setting it all out, then laying the foundation. Then the next one might be laying the curb itself, and the output will be a completed curb and channel. So you can see that a project is really just a whole lot of processes all strung together. The outputs from one process become the inputs for the next one. So the curb and channel will be the input for the next process, which would be laying the base course, which needs the curb and channel there to retain it. And so on and so on. You keep on going through those processes, each process having a whole lot of activities, until you get one final output, which will be the completed road, which is the deliverable that goes to the client. So it's essential that you understand that. Activities, by the way, are also known as tasks, so keep that in mind. A task can be an activity. Some people also call processes tasks, so that can be a bit confusing. So that word task is a bit vague, can be applied to activity or a process. Knowledge areas, this is a word used by PMBOK. By the way, PMBOK is a project management body of knowledge. It was developed by the Project Management Institute. It's a really good guidebook for how to manage a project. So engineering projects involve many activities. So the knowledge areas are like the skills you need to be a project manager. So in the same way that a soccer player needs to be able to head the ball, to dribble, to run, to pass, to run into space and all that sort of stuff, a project manager needs a whole series of different skills as well that all come together into project management. So a project has many activities, lots of things involved in it. Scope management. Scope management is determining what we need to do. It has specific deliverables that you need to achieve. The client wants a 4-lane highway, you deliver them a 4-lane highway, so it needs to be quality management. We have limited time, so we need to manage time management. With limited money, manage cost. There's lots of people involved with all the problems that involves. Some of them need training, some of them need mentoring, some of them need to be supervised more closely than others. Those people all need, if it's a design project, desks to work at. They need the resources they require to do their job. So human resources management. We need to obtain external materials and services. So if we're building a road, we need to buy the aggregate in. So we need to procure it, procurement management. So we need to organise that. When does it need to be bought? How are we going to buy it? Who's going to supply it? When are they going to supply it? All that sort of business. There is a lot of uncertainty. We don't know when things are going to go wrong. So we need to manage risk, and that's a very important part of all this. So you're looking at the risks associated with what's going to stop you from delivering it on time, what's going to stop you from delivering it on budget. So risk management sort of covers all of these as well. And there's a high level of danger, especially in the civil engineering project. We've got big machines, we've got unstable ground conditions, we've got water, we've got weather, we've got people, so all sorts of things. So we need to manage safety. Civil engineering projects can also have effects on the environment, and so we need to manage that, environmental management. And there are lots of stakeholders. There is the client, there is the project team, there is also the local community, the people that are being affected by it. So you need to manage communication. So communications management, and then coordinating it all together, bringing it all together into one package, integration management. So you can see that all these knowledge areas, so project management is really just a whole lot of different skills that are all coming together to manage a project to achieve the project objectives.